Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishna Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishne Namarasitravo Vinihataha Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samuthitam Jagadidam Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tishtati Sarvametadakhilam. He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Srimanarayana. So far we completed chapter 3, sloka 3. So we'll start with sloka 4. Start sharing the screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. Please stand after me. Na karmana manarambhat.
Na karmana manarambhat.
Naiskarmyam purushosnute.
Naiskarmyam purushosnute.
Nacha sanyasana deva.
Nacha sanyasana deva.
Siddhim samadhigacchati.
Siddhim samadhigacchati.
Stand together.
Na
karmana
karmana
manarambhat. Naiskarmyam purushosnute. Nacha samyasana deva. Siddhim samadhigacchati. Okay. So Lord Krishna is continuing to explain to Arjuna. In the previous sloka, just a quick recap, previous sloka, Lord Krishna said there are, he mentioned there are two forms of practice or discipline, which are suitable for two different types of people. Okay, Jnana Yoga for Sankhyas, those who have capability of meditating on Atma, and Karma Yoga for yogis who are not who do not have control on their senses completely, and who do not have the capability to meditate on Atma like a Jnana Yogi. So Karma Yoga is for, he said, yogis. And so whenever yoga appears without prefix, we can safely say it as Karma Yoga. So he gave those two types of yoga for two different types of people. One of the things that we need to understand here is that typically when we get any practices, right? We do not, we say, oh, these are all the good practices you need to follow, right? But all of us may not be able to practice each one of them with the same ease. This is where this is the most important thing. Why so many practices are given here is that if let us say to reach Paramatma, to attain the state of moksha, there's only one practice. Okay, if that practice is given, and if it is not possible for us to practice that, then we'll be left to do, we don't know what to do, and we will not be able to reach that state at all. So Lord Krishna understands us completely. We are all in different stages. Okay, so it is not that each one of us are in the same state. Okay, so this is very important. So he's prescribing a medicine based on the current state of the disease. Okay, so like a doctor who will say, okay, if you have this disease, this is a medicine for you. This disease, this is a medicine for you to get better. Just trying to correlate it to our worldly examples. So Lord Krishna is is blessing all of us with all these practices that are suitable for different types of people. So it is for us to choose which ones we are capable and which ones we are qualified to practice. And for all of us, no matter which state we are in, which stage of realization we are in, karma yoga is suitable. Karma yoga is, we can practice with ease and get the results, get the final result that we want. Okay, so karma yoga actually has jnana yoga supporting it. We'll come to that, as time as Lord Krishna, explains in this chapter as well as in future. So basically, karma yoga is not disconnected. It's not totally separate from jnana yoga, or jnana yoga is totally separate from karma yoga. They support each other. Which is primary is what is the difference. Okay, so karma yoga, performing action, is the primary, supported by jnana. Jnana yoga, meditation, practice of that jnana is primary, supported by karma. Nobody can do them exclusively. Okay, so I mean, for all of us who are in a worldly state we are in, karma yoga is the best. So for Arjuna also, karma yoga is the best suitable practice in order to reach his goal, not the jnana yoga. So he'll start explaining why it is. So Lord Krishna is saying, Purushaha naishkarmyam na asnute. Okay, so a person does not attain a state of naishkarmyam, is transcending karma yoga or going beyond karma yoga. Okay, when, because Arjuna wants to go beyond that, right? He doesn't want to practice his duty. He doesn't want to act in the war. That was his duty. He wants to go away and practice developing that jnana. He wants to do the meditation. He wants to be in that state to make his jnana stable, right? So that is what he is thinking. So I don't have to do this action of fighting in the war, and I can go and do the meditation, develop focus on Atma, develop Atma Jnana, and then from that get self-realization. So that's what he was thinking. So Lord Krishna is saying that a person does not attain that state karmanam anarambhat, by not undertaking of works. So you cannot get to that state by not starting your action. Okay, and siddhim na samadhi gacchati, and does not attain success karmanam cha sanyasanat eva. So sanyasanat eva, he said, right? So by giving up the actions, also you will not attain success. Siddhim na samadhi gacchati. So by not starting the work or not starting your duty, and also by giving up your duty in the middle. So you started doing some action. So let's say Arjuna started doing started fighting, and then suddenly he realized, no, this is not for me, and let me run away. I want to meditate on Atma. In both the cases, he will not be attaining success. He will not go to the state of self-realization. He will not attain Atma Jnanam by not starting the work or leaving the work in between, in the middle. Okay, so he shouldn't be thinking that, oh, I can reach the state of Atma Jnanam by completely discarding the work. Okay, so whatever I'm doing currently, and then also whatever I'm supposed to do in future, I can just throw it away and then just start meditating on Atma. I will be able to achieve the Atma Jnanam. It is not going to be successful, is what Lord Krishna is saying. Okay, and Lord Krishna will explain why it is not going to be successful, right? Any questions on this? Okay, then move on to next sloka. Start sharing. You can see the sloka.
Sir, we'll take it. Yeah.
Please chant. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi
Nahi kaschit kshanamapi
jato tishtatya karma krit
jatu tishthatya karma krit
karyate hyavasah karma
karyate hyavashah karma
sarva prakriti jair gunaihi.
sarva prakriti jair gunaihi
Let's chant together. Nahi
nahi
kaschit
kaschit kshanamapi
kshanamapi
jatu
jato
tishthatya karma
tishtatya
krit
karma krit
karyate hyavashah
Yavasya
karma
karma
sarva
sarva
prakriti jair
prakriti
gunaihi.
gunaihi. Okay. Kaschit jatu kshanamapi akarmakrit nahi tishtati. Kshanamapi akarmakrit nahi tishtati. Kaschit. So no one ever stays inactive even for a second. Okay. So I want to leave the actions completely and then, go into the state of inaction, not doing anything. Okay. That is not possible for anyone. No one ever stays inactive for even for a second. Sarvaha avasaha karma karyate. So what Lord Krishna is saying is avasaha, involuntarily. Okay, sarvaha, everyone, involuntarily is made to work, even against their will. So, so no one ever can sit somewhere and then be completely inactive. Okay, even though they want to be inactive against their own will, they are involuntarily made to work. Okay, why? Prakriti jaihi gunaihi, by the gunas born of Prakriti. This is very, very important. What is the root cause of our actions? Yeah. So there is a lot of consistency in Bhagavad Gita. So so same concept is given in different places, but there's so much consistency. This is amazing. So we are made to act, okay, against our own will, okay, because of the gunas, gunas born of Prakriti. Okay, we are acquiring the gunas from Prakriti. And those gunas are the ones that are forcing us to act. Okay, so what are the three gunas?
Sattva, Rajas, Tamas.
Sattva, Rajas, Tamas.
Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So Prakriti is the one that is responsible for, because we are interacting with the Prakriti. Because of the gunas that we have, we are forced to, we are made to work. I mean, let us take very simple example, even if you don't understand, the gunas, right, completely. So we sit quietly, we feel hungry, right? Isn't it? We have to eat.
Yeah.
Why are we feeling? Is Atma feeling hungry?
No.
No. It's the body that is feeling hungry. Right? Because, as time progresses, material from this body is depleting. Okay? And this body needs to refill the material from the Prakriti. Okay, so we are forced to act because of our body itself. And Atma is forced to act because of the body. Now, when our body has ruchis and vasanas, we learned earlier. So we get attached to certain the qualities of the Prakriti, like Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, right? So we want to do some actions in correlation with those gunas. Okay, we will go into more details about Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas later. But Sattva, anyone Sattva, just a short description. Sattvic quality. And anyone wants to say what is Sattvic?
Sattvic quality is the nature of acquiring gnana.
Right. Yeah.
Always in Paramatma's conscious and helpful to others. Good thinking, good thoughts.
Right. So that is the quality that we get attached to, and then we do actions based on that. Right.
Yes.
Now, so for example, we are in Bhagavad Gita session today because of the Sattva Guna that is coming up. That is more dominant. At any point of time, we have all three gunas at the same time. Again, we will go in much detail later, but so we are acquiring this guna from the Prakriti, and our body itself is made of Prakriti, and this body is having three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. It has the desire to acquire knowledge, sattvic quality, do some actions based on, I want to either learn, and I want to teach, I want to do some good actions, a service to God, all these sattvic quality. It is driving me to act. Rajasic quality. Any quick description of the Rajasic qualities?
It's the desire, always wanting to do something, to achieve
Yes.
something, desire.
Yeah. Yeah, raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, these are, so attachment,
Trying to accumulate things, things.
Yeah.
Right. So raga is attachment, kama is desire, krodha is anger, dvesha is hatred. All these are kind of because of those qualities that we acquire, we tend to act. Like suddenly, someone someone scolds us, someone criticizes us, and then we immediately, react. So that is Rajasic quality, right? So we are forced to act, right? We cannot stop it. So because of the guna that we have, we are forced to act. Atma doesn't have any of this quality. Atma by itself doesn't have to act at all. Atma doesn't feel hungry. Is it eating anything? No, right? It doesn't require any material to go inside Atma. No material can go inside Atma, obviously. So it is a body. So we are possessing a body, and the body is the one that is getting the gunas. It is influenced by the gunas of the Prakriti, and it is reacting. So no one can sit quiet, because we are in this Prakriti, which is real. Again, I'm here reiterating, when something is affecting us in a way, that's reality. Okay, so we are getting affected by it, whether we like it or not. We are getting affected by these gunas. Okay, so even if you just think, oh, it doesn't exist, just go into the nature when it is minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit and just stand there and say, oh, you are not there. It will still be very cold, right? Putting hand inside the fire and then say, oh, you are not there. It will still burn us. So it is impacting us every moment. However, it is not, the action is not because of Atma. It is because of the body only, because of Prakriti. Okay. So no one can sit idle at all, even if they want to just sit idle and then meditate. Focus on jnana alone. Okay.
So what is tamasic then? Isn't
Oh,
yeah,
so
just want to-
tamasic. Yeah, so I forgot. So yeah, let us. So anyone tamasic quality?
Laziness.
I don't, yeah, roughly you know
Carelessness.
what it is like it's a rakshasi behavior and all that. Tamasic, you get angry very quickly, all that sort of. I don't know. That's the
Anger is related to Rajasic.
Rajasic. Okay.
Yeah. Ignorance is related to Tamasic. So ignorance supports the Rajasic in a way. So Tamasic is like someone is lazy and sleepy, careless, as the Balaji said. They just just sit idle, don't want to do anything. They don't want to do their duties at all, right? So even if someone scolds them, they will probably not react. We're just lazy. Okay, not react because so we shouldn't be thinking that they are sattvic at that moment. They're not reacting because they're lazy and sleepy and careless. Okay, so so that is tamasic quality. Again, that is also coming from Prakriti only. One basic example: someone takes drugs, right? So they're in that tamasic state. That is from Prakriti only, right? So they took alcohol, drugs kind of thing. Then they become lazy, drowsy, sleepy, ignorant, and totally, not in right state of mind. So that is tamasic. Okay. So in order to go into that state, someone acts. That is also tamasic, because they're influenced by it. See, that's what it is, right? So let us say there's a party going on with a lot of alcohol. Somebody wants to be in that state of just drunken state. They're influenced by it, so they act. They go to the party. So they're affected by that guna of I want to be in that state. So again, all these actions, if you see any action that we take is because of these three gunas only. By ourselves, we don't need to act at all. But unfortunately, we think that we are acting and apply the gunas to ourselves as Atma. As we shouldn't be
Gunas
doing
are
that.
essentially, gunas are prompting us.
Yeah.
They won't let us sit peacefully.
Right. So the only way somebody can be inactive completely is if they're not in this prakriti. That means they should not be in the body.
Paramatma. Guna
That is that they have to be in the moksha state.
moksha.
So if they are in body, that means they are automatically affected by the prakriti. So they act. The body acts, right?
So while sleeping, also body is doing some work, right?
Yeah.
Releasing
So you're
enzymes.
breathing.
Hair is growing.
Yes. Yeah. So sleeping itself is an activity.
Yeah, that is vritti,
Right.
Chattavritti. Yeah.
Right. So okay. So no one can sit inactive. That's what Lord Krishna is saying. Simple but powerful sloka. Okay, so go to 6th sloka.
Yeah, you can say it.
Okay. Please stand. Karmendriyani samyamya.
Karmendriyani samyamya.
Ya aste manasa smaran.
Ya aste manasa smaran.
Indriyardhan vimodhatma.
Indriyardhan vimodhatma.
Midhyacharasa uchyate.
Midhyacharasa uchyate.
Listen to it.
Karmendriyani samyamya. Ya aste manasa
Smaran.
Indriyardhan vimodhatma. Mithyacharasa uchyate.
Karmendriyani samyamya. Yaha aste manasa smaran. Yaha, one who, okay, who is that one? Karma indriyani samyamya. Karmendriyani samyamya. One who controls karmendriyas. Manasa indriyardhan smaran aste. So indriyardhan manasa smaran aste. So remains, one who remains thinking in his mind about objects of senses. So one who is controlling karma indriyas, fine. Okay, so they are not acting. But remains thinking in his mind about the objects of the senses. Okay, indriyardhan smaran. So it's they're thinking about it. They're recollecting, remembering, thinking about Indriyardha. Indriyardha is object of the senses. Okay, we'll see what are the objects of senses. Saha vimudhatma midhyacharaha uchyate. That one, saha, that one is vimudhatma, mentally corrupted. Midhyacharaha uchyate, and he's called a hypocrite. Okay. So in the previous sloka, Lord Krishna said, no one can sit idle, right? Because they're forced to act because of the gunas that are derived from Prakriti, those gunas which are born from Prakriti. So they are forced to act. But one who controls the karmendriyas. So what are the karmendriyas? Organs of action. Okay.
Vakpani.
Yeah. Hands, legs. Right?
Hands, legs, mouth, and
mouth.
excretion. Yeah. Mouth.
Yes. Yeah. So there are 5 karmendriyas. So through which we act we perform our actions. Okay. So those, if let us say I control my karmendriyas, like sit quietly, or tie myself up with hands and legs and everything, so I'm not moving anywhere. Okay, I close the door, lock the door completely. Okay, and then no one to speak with, no one, we cannot do anything. That is it. Okay, so if I'm in that state, however, if I control, I can control my karmendriyas, but if I don't control my mind, right, my mind keeps thinking of objects of the senses. So let us say, in the case of, we just took an example, right? There is a party going on. Okay, someone who is tamasic wants to participate in that party. Okay, then he decides, no, that is tamasic. Okay, no, I shouldn't be going there. Okay, let us say I want to control myself. So he physically does not go there to enjoy the party. But so he sits at home. His mind keeps thinking, oh, I'm missing this. I'm missing such wonderful food, wonderful drinks, and I could have been enjoying there. I could have been enjoying with my friends and having a nice party. So his mind keeps thinking. Okay, so he's not physically present there, but his mind is present there. That is one example. Someone doesn't go to a movie, or any such example, right? When physically they are not there, however, the mind keeps thinking about those objects of senses. So what are the objects of senses?
Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha.
Very good.
Touch, see.
Yes. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So Shabda is thinking about sounds like music, like physically I turned off the music, but I keep thinking about it, the nice music I'm missing. So where will be the focus? Focus is on music or focus is on Atma Jnana? It's not, focus is not on Jnana, right? Gaining, meditate. It's not on meditation. They are meditating on the music, that I'm missing it. Or then second, Shabda Sparsha. So all the comforts, right? So I'm thinking about the comforts for the body. Then I'm not focused on Atma. Rupa. So I'm thinking of the beautiful forms, anything that we see, right? Again, not thinking about Atma. So we are not physically there. Let us say going on vacation, and then seeing some beautiful things. Physically, we control our karmendriyas, organs of action. We did not go there to see, but we keep thinking about them. So then again, focus is not on Atma. So we are inactive. However, it is not helping us at all. See, one Arjuna's thinking is, if I'm inactive, if I'm not fighting in this war, I can focus on Atma, right? I can do the meditation. I can gain Atma Jnana. But if even though he is not physically there in the war, but he's thinking about all the objects of senses, then he is not really successful, right? He won't be successful. So just skipping the duty is not the solution. Is not going to make us successful. Skipping the duty, thinking that we can do the, we can meditate, we can focus on Atma. It's not going to help for those who do not have control on the mind. One who doesn't have control on the karmendriyas also cannot do. They can't sit idle. One who has controlled their karmendriyas, but their mind is not in control, they also cannot. They're mentally corrupted. So they're thinking that, oh, I didn't do it. Say for example, they think that, oh, I gave up. Okay. Someone who smokes and drinks, let us say, I gave up, but always keeps thinking about the same thing, what they gave up. Then they're mentally corrupted. It is even worse than doing that is what. So they're basically hypocrites. They are not real. They didn't really give up. Their mind is still attached to whatever objects of senses are. Okay. So these two people who, if one is like this, one who is sitting quietly, thinking that they don't have to act at all, okay, will be forced to act because of the gunas. So something that they cannot avoid. One who is acting, one who is not, one who thinks that they control their karmendriyas, but still keeps thinking about the objects of senses, are also just hypocrites. They are also not focused on Atma. Okay, they are not developing Atma Jnana. So they are not in the Jnana Nishtha. Okay. We will move on to next sloka. Sloka 7. Please chant sloka 7. Yastvindriyani manasa
Yastvindriyani manasa
niyamyarabhate Arjuna
niyamyarabhate Arjuna
karmendriyai karmayogam
karmendriyai karmayogam
asaktas savisishyate.
asaktasya viseshyate.
Let's chant together. Yes.
Yasindriyani manasa
Niyamyarabhate Arjuna karmendriyai karmayogam asaktasya viseshyate.
Okay. So, so Lord Krishna is saying, hey Arjuna, so addressing Arjuna, he starts with Yahatu Indriyani Manasa, yes, Indriyani Manasa. So, tu means but. Okay, so is shifting logic. Okay, so but Yaha Manasa Indriyani Niyamya. I think, hope you'll be able to understand directly from Sanskrit itself. Manasa Indriyani Niyamya, one who controls senses with mind. Indriyani senses, Manasa with mind. Yaha one, one who, or Yaha is who, one who. So one who controls the senses with mind. Karmendriyaihi karmayogam arabhate. Okay. Arabhate karmendriyaihi karmayogam is there. So begins the practice of karma yoga karmendriyaihi, by the organs of action, by the karmendriyas. Yaihi, wherever it comes, it's by a plural noun. Okay. So karmendriya, by the organs of action. So one who controls the senses with mind and begins the practice of karma yoga with with the karmendriyas, asaktaha, again that person, asaktaha, being free from attachment. Okay. Asaktaha, free from attachment to the attachment to what? To the results, to the fruits of actions. Okay. Free from phala sangha. Phala means the fruits and sangha is attachment. So saha visishyate. That one, visishyate, is excels over the one who is, he didn't complete that sentence there, but from the context, he's comparing the one who is practicing karma yoga and one who is not practicing karma yoga, one who thinks that I can skip karma yoga and then just sit quietly and do the meditation, like focus on inaction, and I don't want to do my duties, right? So he gave one who skips karma yoga, one who skips action, and thinks that they will be transcending beyond karma yoga, means one who will reach a higher state by skipping the action, that one, and the one who is doing the action as karma yoga. Between the two, who is the one who succeeds, who excels? Because of the reasons that Lord Krishna said in the previous two slokas, the one who is not performing actions is going to fail, right? So the one who is doing the karma yoga is the one who will succeed, is what Lord Krishna is saying. So one who controls the senses with mind and starts doing the practice of karma yoga, being free from attachment to the results, that one is the one who will be successful compared to the one who skips the actions and focuses on Atma alone. Okay. There's a lot of commentary on this one, like karma yoga is always better than the one who is who is focused on inaction alone or not practicing karma yoga, who is is focused on Atma alone. Remember, the one who does not have any control. We're not talking about one who has like we're not talking about comparing. First thing is we are not comparing karma yogi to a Sankhya yogi. Sankhya, he said, okay, if you are capable of meditating on Atma, then you can practice. That's what I gave for such people. But remaining people who are not capable, I am giving you karma yoga. So the one who is who is in that state of, karma yoga is better for that person, like Arjuna. And that person thinks that, oh, there is another practice like this. Let me skip this and then let me go there. If that person moves to Jnana yoga, exclusively, and not performing the actions, not performing their duties at all, that person will not succeed. The one who remains, in the state of practicing karma yoga, will be the one who will succeed. So Arjuna will be successful in his goal of reaching the ultimate state of bliss if he performs his actions, if he performs his duty, rather than skipping them and going to the inaction state, okay, or Jnananista path. Okay, and the second reason is because everyone is affected by these gunas, right? Everyone, even a Jnana yogi is also affected by the gunas. They also feel hungry. They also need clothes. They also need protection from weather. So they also need to do some. They also need to earn these things, right? They can't sit quietly and people will feed them, right? Forever. So they also need to do something. They also have certain duties. So they have to perform. So again, it will come later. We'll come to that. But even one who is a Samkhya yogi, one who is capable of doing that in that state of Jnana yoga, even they also have to do the activities, and when they do the activities, they have to do it as karma yoga. So it is they can't avoid as well, because even they are born with this prakriti body that is made of prakriti. So they are also affected by the gunas. So they cannot skip as well. So one who cannot control the senses cannot skip. One who does not have control on their senses also cannot skip performing karma yoga. So all of us have to perform karma yoga. Karma yoga doesn't mean that we should not have the knowledge of Atma. Karma yoga, doesn't mean that you do the work alone. Okay, karma yoga is supported by the jnana, Atma jnana, that we learned in chapter 2. Okay, so we have to do our duty supported by Atma jnana. What is karma yoga? Lord Krishna will explain, as we go ahead in this chapter. Right, of course, chapter 2 also explained, but we'll have more details here. One of the things that he mentioned in this particular sloka is asaktaha. Okay, so we have to perform actions with being free from attachment to the results. So he introduced a little small piece there. He didn't say just do the work. Okay, then it doesn't become karma yoga. So asaktaha is the first one. Okay, being free from attachment to the results. Okay. Free from attachment to the result means, again, just practical aspects of that. Anyone?
That means let's say realizing that we are an instrument in the hands of Paramatma, or whatever result comes through Paramatma, we accept the result.
Right. Yeah.
So, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so free from the intent of getting the results. I would assume it's more about the rewards rather than because if we are doing something and there's a goal in mind. Again, I'm putting into context of today's world, right? So if we're doing something in our karma yoga, for us it will be probably the work that we do. So there will be a goal behind it. So how
Yes.
can we not think about it? I would assume that it's probably the rewards that come with the completion of the action that we should not be thinking about.
Yeah, that's the reason why I asked this question, because it's difficult to understand. I mean, we have to have our goals. We obviously, we are working towards a particular result. I mean, we have a result in mind when we start.
Right.
So does it mean that we should not have that goal at all, like just to go there without having any goal and then do the action, or when we get the result, just throw away the result?
He's saying asaktaha, detach from the results. He didn't say don't have a goal or a result in mind. Do that one, but detach with the result.
Yeah, but detach from result means what?
Shouldn't think the result is because of us. So, right, we feel that when we get a result, we think that because of our effort we got the result. So,
You fulfill your duty without expecting the final results.
Without expecting, okay.
I think this
Work without
sloka.
expectations, he says. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I never thought nowhere he explained about expecting on a result. He mentioned that we shouldn't be really interested on the work that we do. Thereby, you don't even think of a result. So, like if I perform an action and it is obviously that I'm doing an act, it could be anything. But the moment I think about how it ends up, then I won't be able to do, or I won't be able to focus on what I'm doing, because I'll be only result oriented. So without thinking about the outcome or anything, disinterested, not in doing the act, but I try not to say result, but it ends up there.
Let me make an attempt. Let me make an attempt also. What it is as you said, that yeah, we do something because there is a result that is going to happen. But what we have to be careful is, if you get a good result, then you should not be that happy and say that it's because of me that it's happened. And if it is not according to what you expected, then you should not be that sad and carried away and you say, oh, okay, I'm useless or something. So that's sort of a expectation, I guess. You do your duty, and what the duty is there, you become indifferent, not that you did it and your achievement, hats off to you, or you did it badly and things like that. So I don't know. That's
Yeah.
I think I can connect with
Um,
this one, maybe the one Sham Jha just said. Maybe it's like when you get the result, when we say don't attach to it, means don't get too excited to, by the results. But of course, you'll have
mhm.
results. Then only you can focus your actions. But yeah, once you get the results, don't get attached with the to it, or don't claim it, or don't think about rewards. Maybe
Mm.
that I feel like that might be the thing. But again, open for discussion.
Yeah. I mean, all of you are on the right path. One small thing is that we have to do with interest. There is a, um, I mean, if we, okay, let's say I do not care about the result, is the attitude. I mean, that's what comes, right? Like, I don't mind whatever is the result. Then what happens? Like, immediately say, okay, I don't care about the result. Then what happens? We'll say, okay,
Get deviated.
yeah, I mean, there's no interest in doing it,
Right.
right? Uh, it doesn't mean that we should lose interest. It actually means even more interest. But not interest is not from the point of view that I am going to get the result for my own enjoyment. Like whenever somebody says that there is a these dogs, right? Dogs, you show biscuit or chocolate and dog food, and then you ask the dog to do something, it will do it, and then you have to give the reward. So that because of the reward only, it does the activity, and that is the because of that the reward, the interest develops. Okay, so I'm going to enjoy the result, reward or result, both are same. I'm going to enjoy the result, then I have to do with more interest. This is our typical thinking, like any other animal. All these the dolphins, they only do that when you say, okay, I'm going to give you this small fish, then the dolphin will do whatever it wants, whatever it has to do, and then come and take the fish. We are also like that. We get interest, we develop interest when we see the result, and if the result is not going to be there, or is not something that we like, that is not to the expectations or to our expectations, then we say, okay, I don't have interest. And then if someone forces, we will do without interest. Otherwise, we'll not even do it. So that is our typical thinking. So one of the questions that typically comes is that when you say that do it without expectations and the results, or do it without attaching to the results, without attachment, free of attachment to the results, then immediately people say, oh, then you will not have interest in doing the activity. Okay. That is true in the real, if you don't know Bhagavad Gita, and if we don't follow the Bhagavad Gita principles, or don't understand the complete meaning of Bhagavad Gita. If I just say this, or free from attachment to the results, then I could interpret it in any way. And one of the interpretation is okay, do it without interest, um, and take whatever result comes, right? Because anyway, it's not my result. It's someone gave me, and it belongs to that someone. So, or anyway, I shouldn't enjoy, right? That's what she said, right? No, don't go overboard, don't cry. So I shouldn't be, reacting to the result. So then what's the point in just, I can get any result and I'll be okay with it. I can get a D in in an exam, or I can get an A in an exam. If the result is going to be same for me, right? Then either I will not even practice, right? And if I get a B, that's fine. If I get a C, that's fine. That is the kind of thinking. If you don't really understand the concepts very clearly, it's a pitfall, I would say. Or somebody might say that this is what will happen if we just follow these principles. This is a practical question people ask, right? Because we are applying real world thinking to a particular principle in a isolation. Okay, but Karma Yoga is not just that free from attachment. There are more things that will be attached to it. So Karma Yoga, that's why Karma Yoga has to be done with the knowledge of the self, Atma Jnanam. If you don't have Atma Jnanam and look at that particular statement, you will do without interest. Okay, then it will not become Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga has to be supported by Atma Jnana. Why, why we are doing that activity? For whose sake we are doing the activity? Okay, is what is the purpose? Why we are doing the activity? And why it should be done with interest? Can anyone say why it should be done with interest?
Because it's your duty, right? I mean, if it is my duty is to do the best I can.
No, people won't do that. So if you ask this question, somebody, right, they will say, okay, it's just my duty. I have to just spend 8 hours here. I have to just run away from this place. I'll just work from 8 to 5 and that's it. Because I'm staying here just because it's my duty. I don't care about this. I don't like this, but it's my duty, so I'm here. That's what they say.
There'll be consequence, right? I mean, there's
exactly. So because they're concerned about somebody complaining or they're losing their job or whatever, so they're forced to do their duty. So duty again is another thing. That duty is associated with some kind of a negative connotation. Typically, it's my duty. That's why I'm doing it.
Sir, no, not after reading 2 chapters. I don't think it's a negative connotation.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Gita like the way I've learned, right, in the last 2 chapters. The duty is not like a forced duty, but that is I didn't say job, right? It's like maybe it's the dharma. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. So I'm raising this because these are the questions that people have. Whoever may be listening to this later also.
I mean, I would assume don't do it with interest, but again, it comes down to the same thing. That the results may not be as expected, but again, it's like attaching yourself to the results. I don't know if that is right.
Yeah, we have to do with interest. Okay. Even though we do it without expecting the results and without attaching to ourselves to the results, but we have to do with interest. Okay. So
that is the sloka, right? That the karmanye vadikarastu ma phalesu kadachan, and that you got to do your duty, but it's not that you don't do it at all or something, no? Is that the one that
of course, interest doesn't come there. Interest,
interest doesn't come there. Yeah.
So the interest part comes because of the 3 realities. Again, that's the reason why 3 realities is the foundation, basic foundation for Bhagavad Gita. If you understand 3 realities, the 3 Tattvatraya, then the overall things come together. If you look at something in isolation, then we may get confused. But if you know the 3, that's why Bhagavad Gita started with 3 realities. Okay, Lord Krishna's message actually started with 3 realities. We don't recognize that, but it's not that obvious. But he actually started with that. So we are basically doing it as service to God. Okay, not for our own purpose. It is our duty to do it. Duty not in the negative connotation. It is something that we have to do. And we have to do it as service to someone who we love. When we do something for someone who we love, how do we do it?
With utmost interest, yeah.
Exactly. So a guest is coming to your house. Okay. Will you cook whatever you feel like and then just throw anything on his face? Right? Who are you doing it for? Who are you cooking that for? Are you cooking it for yourself?
No.
So the interest is more or less?
More.
Interest is more when you love that other person, when you respect the other person, care about the other person.
Happy, yeah.
Right. So if that other person is not there, you remove that other person, then you will do whatever you want. So in three realities, Paramatma is missing from these kind of slokas, right? Little bit. It will come later, but we have to put the pieces together. Okay. So we are doing any activity as service to God, because it is not for ourselves to enjoy. Just like we are cooking for someone who is coming. Okay, so we, of course, we'll also eat, right? So in this particular case, we are doing that activity in service of Paramatma. Paramatma is not, is not, let's say we cook for Paramatma, he's not eating half of it and then leaving the half to us. We are the ones who are enjoying only, okay, that. But we never think that we are cooking it for ourselves. Okay, any activity that we do, we should never think that I am doing it for myself. I am doing it for Paramatma because it is my duty, right? I mean, if I'm doing it for Paramatma, then I can do anything, right? But our scriptures say that do what is your duty. Don't do something that is not your duty. Okay, don't skip your duty. So again, all those concepts again will be reinforced. So when we are doing it for someone who we really love, okay, that love part comes in Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti, that is a Bhakti, right? So why we have to do it is because we recognize his greatness. He is the one who is giving everything to us. He is the reason why we are, we even functioning. He is the reason why we have all the resources, material, everything, and he is the one who is making us do. So obviously, we'll have in interest. We'll do it with interest for his sake. Okay. So is he going to starve if I don't do it? No. So this is the mechanism for me to get rid of my karmic bondage. Again, Lord Krishna explains that later in the chapter, but I'm just saying before. So it is my duty to do, and I'm going to do it with interest, and it is definitely going to clear my karmic bondage. That is the definite result I'm going to get. Okay, and the actual result, materialistic result, is whatever it can be. Okay, so so that materialistic result is not what I am attached to. I mean, one of the interpretations is that I am not doing this activity because of the reason why I'm going to get that result, right? So let's say I am cooking for a guest. Okay, Now, the expectation is that the guest is going to appreciate the food. So the only reason why I'm doing the activity of cooking is that the guest is going to appreciate. So I am attached to that particular result. Okay, the food is there, everything is there, but the actual one that I'm expecting is that that should be liked by the guest. So that is attachment part. So when I cook and then put in front of the guest, so I'll be expecting what the guest is going to say, what the guest is going to say, right? So that is all, like, because I'm attached to it. We give a gift to someone. This is another example. After giving a gift or donation to the other person, we are still attached to it. How they're going to use it, or why do you care? We shouldn't be caring why. Whether they wear the clothes or whether they don't wear the clothes, or they donate to somebody else, it shouldn't affect us. But unfortunately, we are still attached to even the ones that we give up also. Okay, so this is and we give a gift to someone, they appreciate it, and then every time we go into their house, we see, oh, I gave you this, so you still like it, and that kind of we get some kind of a happiness. We find that they broke the gift, or they give it to someone else, then we are unhappy. That is that attachment that we have developed towards it. And any result, we are developing attachment. What Lord Krishna is saying is, do your duty without that attachment. And we will not have the attachment when we are doing it as service to God. We will do it with interest when we think that it is this activity is for Him. No matter whether it's doing puja or doing our office work or anything, this is very difficult, because whenever we are doing office work, we never think of God.
Think about the boss, the God in the office.
Right.
I have a quick question on this one, and just for the sake of my understanding, if I missed out on anything, was there a reference somewhere in the first two chapters which said that you should do this work, with a lot of interest? Maybe it was implied in one of the slokas we learned up till chapter 2.
Interest is implied there, right?
Implied.
The reason why I'm saying is that today we are used to this interest and not having interest concept. Right.
I'm fine with it. I was just saying that if I was missing out on something, that interpretation of something in the first two chapters, it's implied. You're saying. Okay.
Yeah, doing it as service to God is doing it with interest.
Okay.
Doing it because it is going to clear your karmic bondage. Is doing it with interest. Doing it with interest on the result is not preferred, is not advised. Doing it because you have to do this, you are doing it as service to someone that you really love, so then we do it with interest. That's implied.
Got it.
Maybe I think a little bit on the made food for a guest, right? Because they say Atidhi Devo Bhava, right? So you want to treat your guest like a god. So I'm not attached to the result, but at the same time, when I'm treating my guest as a god, I want the God. I did with my full effort, right? Full interest, like my cooked food. Okay, I want him to be, he or she, right, to be happy. Right? I think I want to make sure that, right? So it's not that I'm expecting some kind of a thing from them, but at the same time, and I want to make sure that, right?
So this is where the goal part comes. So the goal is to prepare the food really well, so that the guest likes it. Okay, that's the goal. So you work towards that goal. But the result is whether guest likes or not is not going to impact you. So we have to set a goal. I mean, see, if we don't have the goal, then we will not be successful at all. I mean, any activity that we do. We don't do things properly if we don't have a goal. Like, for example, again, we see all these things, we look at Sri Swamiji, Sri Chinna Jeeyar Swamiji as our living guiding principle, person, right? We can see in front of our eyes. Does Swamiji have goals? Yes, he built, the Statue of Equality. Nobody thought it would be possible by, like an organization like, a jet organization has never raised so many funds before. Nobody thought that it would be even possible. But there is we set a goal, right? Sri Swamiji set a goal, and work towards it. So there's no reason why we should not work towards it, right? But let us say the goal was in 2017 it has to be inaugurated, or 2018 it has to be inaugurated. Then because of lack of funds and other delays, a little bit got delayed, and then COVID came, so even delayed further, right? But which was actually good for the construction, because things could be done properly without hurrying and things like that. So the goal was there, goal shifted a little bit, no problem. It's not like end of the world. Whatever is the result that we get, we accept and move on, right? So, but goal was definitely there. 10 years before it started, the goal started, and definitely before 7 years. So when the actual result came, again, don't just become overjoyed and things like that and say this is mine, and right. So it's dedicated to the entire community, and Sri Swamiji is moving on to various other activities, right? So we have to set a goal, as high goal as possible. This is what Sri Swamiji says. There is no reason for not setting the goal. Do it with interest. Try to achieve that goal, but don't have attachment to the result. Don't think that the result is because of you, and all those things will come in the next slokas. So the karma yoga principles. So when we get the result, don't think it is mine, and it's for me to enjoy. And if it is good, enjoy. If it is bad, then cry. These things should not be there. Whatever finally happens is not because of us. Even though we set the goal, even though we work towards the goal, we don't attribute the result to us. We always attribute the result to Paramatma. And even the activity, now whatever is going on, I just concluded the first year anniversary of Sahasrabdi, right? The Statue of Equality. Who is the one who is leading us? The Swamiji said the Kshetra Palaka, the Lord Sri Rama is the one who is leading us. Right? So he's the one who is leading us. He's the one who is giving energy. He's the one who is making all of the people work towards the goal. He's the one who is giving the result. Okay. Again, Swamiji didn't probably sleep at all in the 9 days. Didn't eat much at all in the 9 days. That's was there same case when it was inaugurated. That was even much more strenuous. So the work was done so much, but still the one who is actually making this whole thing possible is Paramatma only. So attribute the actions to Paramatma, attribute the results to Paramatma. It is not my actions, it is not my result. It is not for myself. So it is for Paramatma, by Paramatma. So again, that's why, it gives a clear example for us. Sri Swamiji. Okay. So it took more time than I expected. Asaktaha. So we will have more discussion as we progress in chapter 3 over time now. Any question before we conclude? No? Thanks again. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll conclude with the concluding prayer. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु ॐ अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः जय श्रीमन्नारायण
Jai Shri Ram.
everyone.
Thank you.
Jai Shri Ram.
जय श्रीमन्नारायण Thank you so much.